again, Laurie here. I've always wanted to play around with the figures actually moving on the locomotive, so I've animated them to have swinging arms with motors in them and that. But just for playing around when I'm operating a little layout, being able to move the figures around, it's not a new thing. A lot of people are doing it, and I've heard of it, magnets and that sort of thing. So I purchased some nano magnets, and I've added one onto the bottom of this figure here. You can just see it right on his heel. So I've glued one on there, and there's a piece of shim steel underneath this styrene. I'll pop him there. He stands up. And what I've done here, this locomotive, because we've got the engineer's side, the engineer's looking out here, so the switchman, brakeman, conductor, whatever you want to call him, he's going to be sitting here. I've put one of these nano magnets, very small, there's a whole bunch of them there. I've put one up inside, very hard to see, but I put one up inside on the engineer's side there. So I've got that magnet is going to attach to the magnet on his leg. And if I turn this up now, we can put him on. I'm working around the camera here, he's in front of me. And we put him on, and he stands up. So we can move him, whatever position we want him to be in. He can be there, and the magnet's holding him. So we can take him off. Now the idea that I'm going to take him off is I've cut some of these metal pieces of shim steel. Now, excuse my fingers. I'll put that there. So we've got a piece of shim steel. I can put some scenery over that, like ballast or dirt. I'll hide this next to a switch stand, so when I want to take him off, I can put him next to a switch stand. I had the magnets on there, but you get the idea. Well, I take these magnets off. So there's that. We'll put him back up again. And he'll be able to stand up there then. So once that's glued onto the scenery next to a switch stand, he'll be on that. So I'll demo that a little later on. But just being able to move the magnets. This other fella I've got here, I've cut away, you can see the cutaway that I've made just there to be able to glue a magnet on. And all I'm doing there is I'm just using some Gorilla super glue, which is a gel. I like the gel, it doesn't run, and I'll glue a magnet onto that. All you've got to do is watch that the magnets are north-south, so that they're not going to oppose. So when you do it, you just test, and to test I just put a black inky finger mark on the side, one side that I know is the south and one's the north. So I'll show that in a minute. Okay, I put another magnet that's just sitting on the magnet that's actually on the bottom of his leg. So what I do there is to make sure I've got the north-south of the magnet working, I paint the bottom of that magnet, and now I know that that's the side to be glued down. Now with the figure there now, get a bit of super glue. I said I'm working around the camera here. I can touch up the paint later. Super glue, and I get that magnet. And you've got to go that way. Okay, now the magnet's on the bottom of this other fella now. We pick him up, we can put him there. Just getting straightened up a bit. There he is. The magnet's holding him. Now whether it's that fellow or it's this fellow, they're all going to sit there without moving. So a magnet underneath and a magnet on the bottom of the figure, and that's going to work out pretty good. So he'll be able to stand up on a piece of steel, and the shim steel, or I could put a magnet in the ground, but a piece of shim steel is when I'm running around the size of that. I'll that piece there, just a piece that I'll cut off. It's that'll be enough to lay on the ground next to a switch stand and be able to put the figure on without having to find the magnet, just using a piece of shim steel. But I'm experimenting. I've just applied some tacky glue onto the piece of shim, and I'll just sprinkle some ballast on it, and we'll just tap that down. I'll let that dry, and then I can glue that onto the switching module. Okay, well here's a demonstration. There's the figure up here. The locomotive comes along. He comes off, and he stands over here. Well, I'll get him to stand there. So he's standing there at the switch. You throw the switch, and the light goes clear. I'm using slide switches here. And we wait till he clears. And now he turns the switch. And then we can get the other locomotive . He's got the figure on the front there, and he's not falling off, so that can come through. And he still works. We'll take it forward a little bit further to clear the switch. Now, he can throw the switch back, and now the locomotive can come through. And then he's going to need to get back on again. He's back on again. Can't work the camera and the throttle at the same time. But yeah, so he's back on again there now. So running back. and he's hanging on there pretty well. So that's my initial start of trying to get little figures, putting the magnets on them. I might try doing the same with this guy here, the fella on the boxcar. That he get him nearly do a magnet type thing to put those on. But I don't think I'd be able to get his hand swinging because I've got the motor and the coder inside. But anyhow, that's some fun. So